The story begins with a man named Juke, a master at cracking even the toughest locks in safes. Stealing high-value items and selling them is what he does for a living. He works so carefully and so intelligently that even after pulling off more than 100 robberies, he's never been caught. One night, during another job, he slips into a building to steal a rare stone worth millions of dollars. His intelligence and skill have kept him out of trouble every single time, and nobody ever suspects him. The safe is protected by multiple high-security locks, and breaking into it is almost impossible. But for Juke, it's just another routine job. He cracks the locks, steals the stone, and slips past every security guard without getting noticed. But the moment he gets outside, the priceless stone accidentally shatters in his hands. Just like that, all of his hard work is gone. Even then, he doesn't give up, because a new and dangerous plan is already forming inside his head. So he recreates the exact same design and makes a fake version of the stone. Later, he takes it to a well-known jewelry dealer to sell it. But the second the dealer sees it, he realizes it's counterfeit and refuses to make any kind of deal with Gayuk. Now, it's not just about money anymore. It's about proving his intelligence and protecting his reputation. But Juke also knows this dealer regularly sells fake merchandise himself, so he threatens to expose him to the police. And in the end, the dealer has no choice but to take the stone. Juke's best friend, Going, is also his partner in crime. His specialty is hiding explosives inside ordinary everyday objects. Together, they make a terrifying team. One plays with strategy, while the other shocks everyone with his explosive skills. After this job, Juke decides to start printing counterfeit cash. He creates bills that look completely real, but the ink starts fading the moment alcohol touches them. When that plan fails, the two of them decide to rob a diamond store, carrying merchandise worth nearly $3 million. But this job isn't going to be easy, because the entire place is covered with security camera footage from every angle. Now they need someone who can shut down the entire security system in just a few minutes without getting caught. To hack the surveillance system, they need a highly skilled hacker. The hacker they bring in is Gangbang. Rumors say he once sold out his own crew to the police for money. Even knowing that, Gook and Going still choose to trust him and bring him onto the team. Even so, they know one small mistake could destroy the entire operation. Later, Gook becomes friends with a girl named Yuna, who's an expert when it comes to valuable jewelry and rare items. The two of them go out together, and during the trip, Gook notices a necklace around her neck that her father gave her as a gift. After that, they stop by a jewelry store to have it appraised, and that's when they find out the diamond in the necklace is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, Gook's attention isn't just on the diamond anymore. He's studying the entire store's security setup. At the same time, without anyone noticing, he quietly slides a bag underneath the couch before walking out. Later, they visit another jewelry store for another appraisal, and once again, they get the same result. This is the exact same store Gooks has been planning to rob. He carefully memorizes where every security camera is placed, how many rooms the building has, and how many guards are stationed inside. He locks every detail of the store into his mind, so nothing goes wrong during the robbery. Finally, he calculates that they'll have exactly 10 minutes to pull off the heist. On the day of the robbery, the bag Duke secretly left inside the store explodes, instantly distracting all the guards. And at that exact moment, every surveillance camera inside the building gets hacked. Everything is moving perfectly according to plan, and now they finally have the perfect chance to complete the robbery. He also shuts down the alarm system, so the guards won't notice even if someone touches the vault, giving Juke and Going the perfect chance to get inside. But things start going sideways fast. The guards return way earlier than expected, and suddenly the entire operation is seconds away from falling apart. Going quickly smashes up their vehicle, keeping the guards distracted long enough to buy them more time. Everything is spiraling out of control, but instead of panicking, both of them stick to the plan and trust their instincts. Meanwhile, Gayuk clears out the vault and escapes with every diamond inside. Later, the three of them celebrate the successful robbery together. The next day, the owners of the diamond store find out about the heist and completely lose it. But deep down, they're also impressed that someone managed to pull off a robbery like this under such intense security. Not everyone can pull off a heist this massive, and that's exactly what shocks them the most. The owner is actually a wealthy businessman and a ruthless gangster who's responsible for the deaths of countless people. At the same time, he's preparing for a major robbery of his own, and he's been searching for criminals skilled enough to handle the job. He tested kidnappers, safecrackers, and professional thieves, but none of them were good enough. Now, he finally realizes the crew behind this diamond robbery is exactly what he's been looking for. At this point, his attention isn't just on the stolen diamonds anymore. It's locked onto the dangerous crew that stole them. So he sends all of his men out to track the thieves down. For days, they keep watch on every jewelry store in the area, and eventually, they uncover Juke's location and find his hideout. The gangster finally meets the three of them and offers each of them a 5% cut to join his next robbery. But behind the deal, he's hiding a completely different motive that nobody else knows about yet. The truth is, they don't really have a choice. If they refuse, he threatens to wipe out Guke's entire family. In the end, Guke agrees, and the gangster explains the job. Nearly 150 core in illegal cash is about to arrive in Korea through a cargo ship. The place where the shipment will stay hidden is protected by one of the toughest security systems in the world. To make the plan work, the gangster gives them food service uniforms and access passes, expecting the three of them time to use those disguises to pull off the robbery. Getting past security this heavy won't be easy, but greed and pressure are pushing them forward. After that, Juke starts building the plan, because this is going to be the biggest robbery of his life. Meanwhile, the gangster secretly pulls Sandwich aside and offers him more money to keep an eye on Juke and Going. Now this mission isn't just about stealing anymore, it's turning into a dangerous game of betrayal and suspicion. After all, how can anyone fully trust a group of thieves? Meanwhile, the police are still hunting for the people behind the diamond robbery. While reviewing the surveillance footage, they notice that the bag left inside the store belonged to Duke. That clue leads them straight to his house, where they uncover detailed plans for the next robbery. Now the situation is becoming even more dangerous, because the police are slowly closing in on them. From there, the police realize Duke is connected to a much bigger operation. The day before the robbery, Duke and Going head to the docks and hide explosives along with devices meant to hack the security systems. Later, after returning to their hideout, Duke tells Going they should betray the gangster and keep all the money for themselves. But Gangbang secretly overhears their conversation and immediately reports everything back to the gangster. At this point, betrayal and manipulation are everywhere, and nobody fully trusts anyone anymore. The gangster is furious, but he decides to deal with Duke later because he still needs him for the mission. After that, Duke goes to meet Yuna, but she's still upset that he suddenly disappeared without warning. When she refuses to listen to him, Duke finally reveals that her father was actually his mentor. Yuna's father, Mr. Malaya, once wanted to leave the world of crime behind and live a normal life, but fate keeps dragging Duke right back into that dark world, no matter how badly he wants out. But that same day, the gangster murders his own business partner. Yuna doesn't believe a single word Duke says, and she storms off. A short time later, the gangster's men kidnap her, so Duke can't betray them. Then, the day of the robbery finally arrives, and the entire crew successfully sneaks into the port facility. With every step, the danger keeps getting worse, but somehow, the mission keeps moving forward. Meanwhile, Going detonates the explosives, instantly distracting all the security guards. Seeing the opportunity, Gangbang hacks into the security system. The workers at the facility believe the issue will take at least 40 minutes to fix, giving Duke and Going more than enough time. They reach the vault, and Duke uses his skills to crack it open. Getting past security this intense and making it all the way to the vault becomes one of the most dangerous plans they've ever pulled off. Now, stacks of cash are sitting right in front of them. Without wasting a second, they start loading the money into their truck and leave behind the food coupons the gangster gave them. But the second news of the explosion spreads, police units rush to the port and lock the entire area down from every direction. Because of that, Duke and his crew can't escape. Now the entire mission is falling apart because the police have them completely surrounded. Then the gangster suddenly shows up and points a gun at Duke after finding out about his betrayal. He holds up Yuna's necklace and makes it clear she's under his control. To save her life, Duke turns himself over to the police. But just before getting captured, he dives into the water while officers open fire behind him. In that moment, everyone believes there's no way Duke survives. One of the bullets even hits him. The bomb in his hand explodes too, making it look like he's dead for sure. When Going hears about it, he's devastated after losing his best friend. But Gangbang is secretly happy because now he thinks he'll get Duke's share of the money too. The two start arguing, and suddenly Gangbang stabs Going with a knife. Greed and betrayal have started tearing the entire crew apart from the inside. Eventually, the truck loaded with cash arrives at the gangster's location, but the second he opens it and finds nothing except food coupons inside, he completely loses it. He can't understand what happened, and that's when Duke suddenly calls him perfectly alive. One by one, the truth finally starts coming out. Everything that happened from the very beginning was actually part of Duke's master plan. The entire time, he's been trying to avenge Mr. O's death. That's when everyone finally realizes the real game was being played by Duke alone from the start. At the beginning, when Duke sold the fake stone, he secretly planted a microphone inside it because he already knew the gangster regularly bought rare items there. And exactly like he expected, the gangster purchased a stone. By listening to the conversations around it, Duke discovers that the gangster is searching for a highly skilled thief. Duke had already planned every move ahead of time, trapping his enemy without him even realizing it. So Duke intentionally steals the diamonds just to get the gangster's attention. The entire time, the gangster thinks he's the one tracking Duke down, when in reality, Duke is the one leaving clues behind on purpose. Gangbang was secretly working with Duke the whole time and was only pretending to side with the gangster. Even the police officers who came to arrest Duke are fake, and the bullet that supposedly hit him turns out to be fake too, allowing him to escape. The entire plan is so perfectly executed that nobody realizes the truth until the very end. Meanwhile, the real police rescue Going, who was only pretending to be dead. In the end, the gangster gets absolutely nothing except humiliation. On top of that, Duke secretly tips the police off about his location, and officers immediately raid the hideout. Now, everything has completely flipped around, and the hunter has become the hunted. At the hideout, a massive fight breaks out between the gangster's men and the police, while Gangbang rescues Yuna from captivity. Watching his entire plan collapse, the gangster barely manages to escape. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, Gukei's crew drives away with a truck filled with food coupons, even though they don't seem valuable at all. The entire place turns into complete chaos, filled with gunfire, panic, and people fighting just to survive. But then, the truth finally comes out. Those food coupons are actually the stolen money. While loading the truck earlier, Gukei used his counterfeit printing machine to transform the cash into fake food coupons. The moment alcohol touches them, they turn back into real bills again, which means the gangster had the money right in front of him the entire time and never even realized it. Once again, Gukei proves his intelligence is several steps ahead of everyone else. In the end, Gukei crashes into the gangster's vehicle and leaves him for the police to arrest. After that, the crew returns to their hideout and sprays alcohol over the coupons, turning them back into stacks of real cash. After pulling off a robbery this massive, Gukei disappears for a few months to stay under the radar. One day, he sends Yuna a bag filled with money so she can finally open the art gallery in Dubai she's always dreamed about. She arrives in Dubai and later visits a museum wearing her necklace, and that's when Gukei suddenly appears beside her. After everything they've survived together, the two finally get to live happily side by side. If you love dangerous heists, mind games, and suspense-filled stories that completely mess with your head, then subscribe to Rafsat right now, because every story here delivers a twist at the end that nobody sees coming. And trust me, the next story is going to be even more dangerous than this one.